Hi everybody, happy Friday. I hope that you all get a long weekend like I do. Sorry to anybody who has to work this weekend, but happy Friday nonetheless. So today I wanted to share a video to talk about some weird tricks that I did that boosted my weight loss while I've been using Zepbound. So just to give a little bit of context, I haven't really had any problems with losing weight. And before I started implementing these tricks, I really wasn't unhappy with my rate of weight loss at all. And I really didn't start these things with an intention of boosting my weight loss, but it was a pretty remarkable difference between before I started doing these tricks and after I started it in terms of how much weight I was losing per week. So since the very beginning of my journey, starting in January, I had been losing, the average amount, I would say, usually about 1 to 2 pounds per week, which is a normal, healthy rate of weight loss. And I was perfectly happy with that. I was not looking to increase my rate of weight loss. So what I really was looking for, what I had been looking for was a way to improve my insulin and to improve my leptin. I had been doing some research and finding information that kind of kept pointing to the fact that insulin is a big driver of weight loss resistance, and when people run into difficulties with losing weight, a lot of times it's because their insulin is too high and it's blocking their fat from being able to be released and burned for energy. So I was really trying to focus on that, and I came across some information that said that, insulin, yes, that is something that's important, but really you need to be looking even upstream from that. You need to be looking further down to say something else is also causing that insulin to be high. What is that? And it turns out that it's something called leptin. It's another hormone, and it's actually, earlier on in the chain of events than just the insulin. So if your leptin is dysregulated, your insulin is going to be dysregulated. The person who put out all this wonderful information, her name is Sarah Kleiner. I am not affiliated with her in any way, shape, or form. I paid for her course called the 21-Day Leptin Reset, and it has a wealth of tons and tons of information, tons of resources, lots of science-backed, evidence-backed research and guidance, and downloads, guides, ebooks, tons and tons of information. I highly, highly, highly recommend that you check out her course, the 21-Day Leptin Reset, if you are having any kind of trouble losing weight at all, whether you're on a GLP-1 or even if you're not. You don't need to be on a GLP-1 at all. In fact, she wasn't when she created this program and lost weight herself. So anyway, I'm going to link her website down below. It's sarahkleinerwellness.com, and she's got lots of different courses available. I spent the money on the 21-Day Leptin Reset, and it was probably some of the best money that I've ever spent. So I highly recommend that you check it out. She has so much information in there. I'm going to say that there are a few things that I picked out from that course that I think were really impactful for me, and some things I had already been doing, like with my diet and stuff like that, that if these tips don't work for you, you might want to really look into her course and see, because she's got so much information in there, so much more than these little tips that I'm going to be giving you today. But I wanted to kind of call out some of these changes that I made based on that course that I took that really did seem to make a difference for me in my weight loss. So anyway, so before I had started her program, I had been losing, like I said, about 1 to 2 pounds per week. I was perfectly happy with that. After I started her course, I want to say literally within the first week of starting this 21-day plan, I started losing 3 pounds per week, or a solid 2 to 3 every single week. And I have almost every single week since I did that, and that was back in June. So it really seemed to work for me. So I kind of want to share these 4 tips And they're kind of going to sound weird. They're kind of going to sound like crazy, wackadoo. Like, how can that be real? How can that work? I don't know. She's got all the science. She's got all the research. She's got all the articles. And she's also, like I said, she's got a lot more to the course than what I'm going to be sharing with you right now. And I highly recommend that you check it out. So anyway, without further ado, let me tell you about the 4 things that I changed, that I really think had the biggest impact on my GLP-1 weight loss. So number 1, go outside for sunrise every single morning. It's non-negotiable unless you're sick and you really can't get out of bed. Go outside, even if it's only for 5 minutes. Go outside, look at the sky. You don't want to look directly at the sun, but just kind of look at the sky. Keep your eyes open. No sunglasses. If you need glasses, wear them outside and then take them off. So you can see to get outside, safely, but actually, like, regular lenses will block the effect from happening. You just want to get the light from the sunrise into your eyes. Again, not staring directly at the sun, but just kind of generally over at the horizon, at the sky, letting the sunlight come into your eyes. 5 minutes every day at least. I do longer on weekends when I can, but during the weekdays, I really don't have more than 5 minutes to do it. So I go outside, I stand in my grass barefoot, and I get 5 minutes of sunrise light in my eyes every single day, weekends included. So it sounds crazy. I thought, oh my God, I'm going to hate this. I am not a morning person at all. But, I've gotten into the routine of it. I kind of do look forward to it. It does seem to wake me up. It's, you get out there and you're like, oh, why am I doing this? I can't believe I'm doing this. But, by the time the 5 minutes has gone by, I do feel more awake usually. And I feel like, ready to start my day. So I do it. I do it every single day, ever since then. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things that you would never think that it would have an impact on your weight or your health in any way, shape, or form, but it really, really has. Number 2, this one, you're gonna think I'm crazy. I look crazy, right? I wear red tinted blue blocker glasses after sunset every single night. So, without fail. So, after sunlight, you're supposed to, our bodies are circadian. Our bodies are regulated by the sunrise and the sunset and the light and the different timing. And when we're staring at phone screens, television screens, and like overhead lights, LEDs or whatever, in the evening hours, then your brain is like, it thinks it's daytime. And so you're not going to produce the melatonin that you need. Your natural melatonin is going to be blocked from being produced. So your whole hormonal cascade that's regulated by the circadian rhythm is going to be out of whack. And there's important things that happen overnight in terms of hormones and stuff like that. That you really want, especially for weight loss, especially for leptin, especially for insulin. It's very crucial that you have all these hormones being signaled correctly overnight. And so setting the stage for that is wearing these red tinted blue blocker glasses as soon as the sun sets and up until it's time to go to bed. Try to minimize or eliminate as much blue light from your phones and from your house and from your screens and all that kind of stuff until bedtime. It absolutely helped me fall asleep faster within like 2 or 3 days of doing this. Between going outside for sunrise in the morning and wearing these glasses at night, my sleep schedule and my sleep and being able to fall asleep absolutely changed, like almost within days. That was pretty cool. All right, so I will take these off. My husband makes fun of me. He thinks I look like a hippie, and he's not wrong, but I don't care. I mean, they really made a difference within days of using them. So I have not personally vetted any brands of blue blocker glasses. So I cannot tell you a brand that is the best one to use or whatever. I bought these ones before I knew, that there were different levels of quality. And I have no idea if they actually block the light that they say they do. However, I'm inclined to believe that they do because, like I said, it's really been helpful for my sleep and sleeping schedule and falling asleep and all of that. So again, I don't have a brand that I can recommend. If you are going to get them, I have been told that there are some good cheap brands on Amazon. I'm not sure, what they look like or whatever. So if you're interested, do a little research. They can vary widely in price. I mean, I think I've seen some cheapo ones like in the $20 range, and then they can go up to like $200+. So, I probably would not invest a whole bunch right away. Hopefully they at least say on the website that they have been proven to block the light spectrum that they're supposed to. But, I probably wouldn't spend a whole lot of money right out of the gate. Just get something that you think you'd be willing to wear every night as your family makes fun of you. But it's a non-negotiable. Like, you literally, that has to be done. That is an important part of these tips. So that's number 2. Number 3, I started taking a short walk outside at lunchtime. So I work in an office all day. I've got fluorescent lights overhead. I'm on the computer, staring at a computer screen all day. And getting outside for a quick walk after my lunchtime meal, and I literally just walk for 10 minutes. Like, that is all. I do not go far. I'm wearing my work clothes, so I can't get all sweaty. I'm not doing a really vigorous walk, but just getting some light again, getting out of the fluorescence and out of the screens and outside. Bonus points if you can skip the sunglasses, because sunglasses kind of detract from the light getting into your eyes the way that it's supposed to. If you cannot tolerate being outside, if it's super, super sunny and bright and, you have light intolerance, do the best you can. If you have to wear sunglasses, you have to wear sunglasses, but it would be bonus if you can avoid sunglasses. Obviously, if you need glasses to walk safely, you're going to have to wear your glasses. I still think you'll get some benefit out of walking after the meal. And again, it does not have to be long. Finally, the last thing that I did, tip number 4, that I started doing at the same time as these other things, was I started going outside more, and in particular, putting my bare feet on the grass. There is a lot of evidence for what is called earthing or grounding. And again, it sounds crazy, it sounds stupid, it sounds too dumb to work, but it's one of the main things that I changed after I did her program, or while I was doing her program. So I try to go outside. Again, I do 5 minutes in the morning when I'm watching the sunrise. But, in the afternoons, once there's a little bit of shade out there, because it is hot here in Florida, I don't like going out straight into the sun. But once there's a little bit of shade, I'll sit down, I'll put my feet in the grass, and I just try to spend some time out there. Maybe I can read a book out there. I try not to bring my phone or my electronics with me, because I'm really trying to actually just enjoy nature. But if you really can't enjoy nature without your phone, I suppose it's fine. Just bring your phone out with you if you need to, or a book or something, to listen to a podcast or something like that. But go outside and put your bare feet in the grass if you can. I don't know if you live in a city, maybe you can't, but maybe there's a park or something like that you can go to. I'm not sure about walking around in a public park or public spaces. I know my yard is safe from things like glass, or I don't have dogs pooping in my yard or anything like that, so I'm not worried about that. But if you go to a park and you have a little towel or a blanket or something, and you put your feet on the grass gingerly and safely and carefully, obviously you have to be aware of where you are. And if it's a public space, who knows, there could be glass or nail, or, who even knows what's out there. So you want to be cautious if you're going to be walking barefoot in a public space. But if you have a yard that is safe, or even a tiny little patch of grass or dirt or sand or rocks or concrete, even, I've been told, is grounding as well. So I don't get outside every single day. Sometimes it's raining all day long. Sometimes I just have a fully booked, exhausting day and I really can't go outside. So you don't have to be perfect, but I do try to get outside every day for a little bit of time if I can. If I can do 5 minutes, I do 5 minutes. If I can do 20 minutes, I do 20 minutes. On the weekends, I'll do a little bit longer if I can. And I agree. These 4 things sound like they could have nothing to do with weight loss whatsoever. I hear you. They sound totally non-scientific, but all I know is I implemented those things from her program and my weight loss went from 1 to 2 pounds per week to a solid 2 to 3 pounds per week every single week since I've been doing it. So, I'd be curious to know if this is something that you'd be willing to try. These crazy tips and tricks. And again, I cannot recommend her program enough. I'm not affiliated with her in any way, shape, or form. She's never heard of me before. I'm just a person who took her course, and I really think that I got a lot out of it, more even so than just the weight loss that I got while I've been doing my GLP-1. So again, I'm going to put her website down there. Please check it out. If you want to learn more, and if you kind of want all the science behind all this stuff and all the studies that she has and all the research that she's done is just fantastic. So I'll put that down below, but I'm curious to know, would you try these 4 weird tips or tricks to boost your weight loss, whether you're on a GLP-1 or not? If you try it, let me know. I would be so excited to know if any of these things helped you with your weight loss. All right, let me know. Have a great weekend, guys.